Hey friends, I'm back again. We're gonna finish up this necklace today, the Miss Edith. I ended up going with these agates, just some rounds, the same size as these rounds. I think they're what, 10 millimeters? Yeah, 10 millimeters. So got my sterling silver wire that I straightened with my straightener, got my scraps, got my tools, got my notes on my on our book. So let's get started. So we've been talking about Edith Thompson and the in the book by Laura Thompson, A Tale of Two Murders. So the last part of the book basically gets a little bit more into the letters that Edith was writing her boyfriend Freddie. Then it gets into the actual murders, or murder rather, of Percy that Freddie did. And it gets into like the day of, where everybody was at, what everybody was doing, what they did during the murder, what they did directly after the murder. I don't know. There's like evidence that Edith was writing in her letters about like making long-term plans to eventually get away from Percy. So like it made it sound like she didn't know it was gonna happen. Sorry, I had to use my little micro crimpers because I didn't give myself enough of a tail on this one. So I had to squeeze it around a little bit. These micro crimpers come in handy for that. Where was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the letters. So she was like, hey, find me a job, just be a little bit longer and all this other shit. And, so it doesn't make sense that like then the next day or whenever it was, that Freddie would go out and kill her husband. That wasn't part of the plan. But Little Miss Edith, she did do some suspicious things, as one of my favorite YouTubers says, suspicious. She did not tell the police at first that she was like, oh yeah, I know the dude. It's my boyfriend, by the way. Like, she just kind of was like, no, I don't know. It was some stranger. I don't know what happened. It happened all at once. That like swoony woman thing. So, sorry, I had to squish these down a little bit. So that that's bad for her. But eventually when they track Freddie down, they put 2 and 2 together with Freddie. He's like, no, she didn't know what was going on. Like, this was all me. Like, leave her alone. The problem is that Laura Thompson brings up is that none of this would have been anything, outside of Percy getting murdered, if Freddie hadn't kept all these damn letters. Like, there was like 60 of them or so. Edith got rid of most of, if not all, the letters from Freddie, but Freddie just kept them. And probably for sentimental reasons or whatever, because he doesn't sound like the smartest bloke in the whole world. But yeah, had he just gotten rid of them, it wouldn't have been a thing. Even if they were like, yeah, we're pretty sure this is what happened, like, they wouldn't have been able to prove anything. So, moral of the story is, don't put anything in writing. God. Anyways, I think I said that last time too. Jeez. It's a good lesson to learn though. Learn it twice. Yeah. So eventually she's like, oh yeah, he was my boyfriend, and well, but I didn't know he was gonna do it, and I had nothing to do with the planning, and no, I don't know, please don't. Basically the whole murder trial, it was circumstantial. Like if it happened today, Laura Thompson brings it up, that if it happened today, it might have been on TMZ. It might have been a Dateline episode. It might have been, speaking of Dateline, they have a podcast so that like you can like listen to all the Dateline episodes over and over again, and it makes me so happy. But anyways, yeah, like it would have been sensational, but it was just completely circumstantial. And there's just no way that she would have been convicted. At least, not convicted on capital murder. So that was a thing. But they like in the letters, it comes out that at one point she was pregnant with Freddie's kid, and they were talking about what kind of herbs that she needs to take in order to like induce a miscarriage. Like all kinds of horrible stuff. The 1920s, like the whole decade was all about, these women, they want the right to vote, and then they go and they have they abort their babies. Anyway, so they're convicted. It was hard. It was horrible. They're convicted, I want to say, like within 4 weeks. They're both executed. And they're also, Laura Thompson comes and starts talking about some stuff about how Edith may have been like completely drugged on the day that she was executed. Now, personally, if I'm ever in an execution position, please drug me all you want. Like, I think it's probably better for everybody involved if I'm totally schnockered. But I guess that's a big issue because she didn't ask for it. They just wanted her to be calm. She was, in hysterics or whatever the day before because, she didn't want to be executed. And so that's kind of a human rights violation thingy there. But even up until the last minute with Freddie, like he was like, oh my God, crying, pleading. She didn't have anything to do with it. Save Edith. I love Edith. It was all me. And they still ignored him. So again, like even if you want to think that she had everything in the world to do with this, you can't. I don't know. Like the dude that actually did the killing is saying, nope, it was all me. So, yeah, she wasn't treated very. There was like another. What was it that came up? There was some issues with like a priest and other clergy that came to see her as like confidants, but they wanted to like her to confess, and she's like, I got nothing to confess to. And then one of them wanted her to like convert, but it was I think it was the day before she was getting executed. Like she ain't got better things to do than like convert at that moment. I don't know. 2 guesses of what religion that one was. Anyway, so it's a good book. What I really liked about this book too is that I should probably pull the book over here. You want to see? Ooh, Tale of Two Murders, Laura Thompson. It's she goes into all the like these are the archives that I pulled. They have like these British numbers attached to them. But she gives all the numbers, all the documents that she pulled to back up the things that she's saying, the court documents. Which those are usually put in the back of a book, but she lays it out. All the evidence, like check it for yourself. So the idea of the idea behind this book again, that we talked about at first, was it's about feminism. It's about how women are treated. Did Edith do some manipulation? Probably. Did she mean for Percy to die? Probably. But did she set up his murder? I don't think so. Like some of her letters do. I'd have to go back and reread. But like she kept talking about like smushing off glass light bulbs to put in his oatmeal or porridge or whatever they eat in Britain in the morning. But then she tried to say in court that was actually for her. She was technically suicidal. I don't know. She didn't do herself many favors, and Freddie didn't do anybody any favors by saving all those letters. Like, you talking about illegal abortions and smushing up light bulbs. Throw those letters away. Burn them, dude. Like, what sentimentality is it? I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna go back to my mantra of sometimes boys are really stupid. So I think this is one of those books that I'm gonna read again at some point in the future, because you get the sensational part of it and the oh my god, are you kidding me part, but then like to really go back to the case part, the document part, the pay attention to all those other details, because it is very soap opera-y. It's very, very soap opera-y. It would have made a really good Lifetime movie. Ripped from the headlines. So I definitely give A Tale of Two Murders a huge recommendation. I got it from the library, but like I said, I think I'm going to get myself a copy so that at some point I can reread it and pay attention a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's it with that one. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I've been talking about the Gunnis book, Hell's Princess. I got about halfway through and then I got distracted with some other obligations, and probably just going to finish that. I have a couple book clubs coming up. I'm going to do that. Do those books rather. But those aren't true crime. Those are just, the one book club is it's called a short book club. So it's basically shorter books. We talk about them for about 10 minutes and then we, talk about everything else for 3 hours. Like a regular book club. I'm trying to soak up the last of summer over here. Been dropping off orders. I dropped off a couple orders earlier this week to friends. And I got to hang out with them and talk and chat and ran into some other friends, and it's been a good week. But I get to see one of my favorite people in the whole world. His name is Jimmy. Jimmy and we like to talk arts and crafts. And when I saw him this week, he showed me some caterpillars that he caught. And he is learning about caterpillar habitat. So he seems to be having a good summer. He also was learning archery, and his mom posted a video. His mom is my friend. His mom posted a video that he set up an obstacle course in the backyard. It was pretty sweet. It was pretty sweet. If I was 10 years old again, Jimmy would be my best friend in the whole entire world. Oh, and he also made me this bracelet. He makes me these bracelets a lot. He's been sending them to me for the past couple years. And every time I see him, he's got a new one for me. Love them. Love them, love them. They're really good when you go to the gym because you can throw your key on them and then put them on your wrist, and then you don't lose your keys. That's what I was using them for the longest time. I don't go to the gym anymore, so. Because I want to hold on to my potatoes for as long as I possibly can. But it was fun seeing Jimmy. I haven't seen him, I guess I saw him at a rally last month or something, but we haven't really hung out for months. We're getting in our groove of hanging out and doing crafts at the coffee shop on Friday nights. That was in the before times. That was when things were normal. When you and your friends could actually hug, sit at the same table, before the world imploded. But we'll figure it out, right? New normals, what we keep saying, new normals. And then after that, I went to the beach and sit on a bench and just kind of watch and breathe in beach. And then to a local art gallery that I haven't been to yet. I was going to take some classes at this summer, and again, in the before times when we could actually plan. But I ran into a friend who I haven't seen in over 10 years. Haven't talked to him probably over 10 years. So that was nice. We made plans to have a cup of tea and catch up at some point. She's a pretty awesome lady. So it's been a good week overall, I think. Oh, can you guys believe it's already middle of August? Jeez. What are you all doing? What are you all reading? Anything fun? So this necklace is going to end up being about, like I said, 60 inches. So it's going to be super long. You know, our friend Edith made it in her honor. It's got this 1920s feel to it, I think. It's very Art Deco feel to it. I don't know, I think it'll be cool. I'll throw it up on my Etsy site probably within the next couple of days. I'm really bad at taking pictures, taking decent pictures when I get around to taking the pictures. I just suck so bad. And someone at one point said, well, just hire like a teenager. And I thought, oh my gosh, why? I don't have the money. Oh, they work for free. Why would you? We've really got to get out of this habit of expecting people to work for free. So that's my little rant there. But yeah, I just gotta get better at, I just like making the jewelry. I like picking up the beads. I like hoarding beads. I like making the jewelry. I hate the taking the pictures, putting it up on Etsy. I'm really, really, really bad at it. Maybe one day I'll have the money to pay somebody else a livable wage to do, oh yeah, and marketing. Oh my gosh, I'm the world's worst marketer. People be like, oh, that's such pretty jewelry you're wearing. And I'm like, thanks. God forbid I actually say like, hey, I made it. So annoying. You gotta pay somebody to do my marketing for me. Take my photos. I don't know. Basically, just let me work. Let me hide in my hole and make pretty things, and that's all the responsibility I want. But whatever. I guess I gotta adult if I'm gonna pretend that this is a job. I actually gotta do a little bit more than just the fun part, right? Like any job. I did find, speaking of marketing, where's that here? I had ordered these. Can you see this? I had ordered this. It's huge. A long, long time ago. God, probably 15 years now. From somebody online, and it says Bessie Jane's Favorites. So it's my company name. Also my grandma's name, Bessie Jane. Because I thought, oh, if I'm a bad marketer, I could just wear this around my neck, and then people go, oh, what's that? And I could be like, hey, it's my business. Look at 15 years, still hasn't gotten attached to anything. That's how bad of a marketer I am. And by the way, I've since learned how to figure out how to do these, so I way overpaid for this 15 years ago. When I could have just made it myself. But whatever. So, oh, this video is running long. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all go. But I think I will come back at you in another day or two. Because, sorry, we're going to make some earrings. I have these antique spoons that I cut down, and I think we're going to make them into earrings. So, just a little teaser. Woo, woo, woo. All right, be safe. Keep fighting the good fight. Be kind to one another. And we'll talk soon. Bye, friends.